Hello and happy Friday Eve from Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. Okay, remember when you were a kid and probably in elementary school and you came down with some kind of childhood disease like your chicken pox, like your mumps, like your measles, something like that, and you got to stay home and you got to watch morning TV. And of course, reruns of Petticoat Junction were mandatory, essential viewing. I was a Bobby Joe guy, for the record. Not that that surprises you in the least. But remember the theme song? Look at Uncle Joe, he's a reeling kind of slow at the junction. Not Joe Biden, not yesterday. And if you lie about that, you're just not being honest. I've got some concerns about Joe Biden. I've taken him to task, and yes, I do worry if he's reelected about having an 86 or 87-year-old president of the United States. But at the moment, he is completely fit and ready to go. Did you watch honestly and objectively and listen to his performance yesterday in Lithuania? That was the picture of competence. That was the picture of confidence. That was the picture of leadership. He had a remarkable grasp on all of these issues, and he expressed them all with notable clarity. So he was a leader, and he is helping us reassume our essential position as the leader of the free world, something his predecessor had conspicuously abdicated. Think about what he's done. And again, I've taken him to task. I will again. But in 3 years, he has absolutely repaired and restored our global standing, and particularly with our allies. Under his predecessor, we gave aid and comfort to our enemies, and we abandoned our friends. And it was a bad situation. And yeah, Sleepy Joe has fixed that in less than 3 years. Now, other issues, we can discuss them, but with respect to the United States' role in the Russia-Ukraine war and coordinating support for Ukraine, Joe Biden hasn't been good. He's been masterful. He has been magnificent. He has foxed Putin out of his drawers at every turn. Putin did this because he thought that the West would not have any will. In particular, he thought he could break NATO. Instead, the only thing he's broken is his nose banging up against the wall of solidarity that is now NATO, and that is because of United States leadership. One more thing, the economy. Can we be remotely objective about this? Yeah, we've got some economic issues. Absolutely. That's kind of what happens when the world comes out of that pandemic, you know. But we also have some very solid fundamental numbers, and that is not debatable. Those numbers are there. And we're probably in better shape economically than any other large post-pandemic economy. And Joe Biden and his staff and his administration have navigated us through those narrow straits, at least to date. And oh, by the way, inflation, still got to get it down, but the numbers yesterday were pretty encouraging and indicative of the fact that we're on the right track. But you know, facts are stubborn things, particularly for an obstructive tribal opposition party that just doesn't believe in facts. But one more thing, and you bet this put a smile on my face. Wednesday's face job of the day, Chris Wray's one-paragraph dismantling of the jackass that is Matt Gaetz. Priceless. Okay, LeBron says he's not retiring. Oh, I'm shocked. Like he was going to retire, like the thirstiest man in the world wasn't going to take another swig out of the garden hose. Come on. Now, some of you are not going to like this. I'm not trying to be insensitive. Of course, I applaud the efforts to aid cancer research. But am I the only person who thinks the ESPYs are just too damn prissy and too damn self-important? There, I said it. You can come after me if you want to. All right, so the Jets don't want to be on Hard Knocks. But the NFL and the Jolly Roger says, we don't care. what the Jets don't want. Somewhere I think I hear Jets coach Robert Saleh cussing under his breath. No coach wants that. So ESPN's Football Power Index gives the Longhorns a 54% chance to win the Big 12 championship in their final year in the league. 54%, which by the way is one greater than 53 and one less than 55. Better get in the gym, Sark, because this load is going to get heavy. Have you noticed, by the way, I think the Cowboys are set up to have a good year. That's a good team with a good lineup. And they got precious few questions, but think about this one. Have you noticed how woefully thin they are at linebacker? And they're very vulnerable. You say you haven't noticed it? Well, obviously, Jera hasn't either. But that could bite them in the tuchus. And finally, negotiations between the New York Giants and Saquon Barkley have been horribly mishandled by Saquon Barkley. The Giants tried to save him, but he just wouldn't grab the rope. That's it for Thursday. See you tomorrow. We're radically rational.